Welcome everyone to Blue Marble Week. Blue Marble Week is an event that Michael and I first talked about several months ago, with the idea that it be a fusion of a Silicon Valley pitch, a TED Talk, and some other thing. And we hopefully have encapsulated that third intangible, you know it if you see it, with our first run here. Blue Marble Week is meant to be a 12-month series where this event is sort of an overview of the topics that we will cover over the next 12 and a preview of the sorts of speakers, the types of talks that will go forward. It is ultimately a test run, and we need your feedback to make it better. So at any point, contact any one of us at the foundation or LiftPort and let us know tweaks or ideas for the next events. So who am I? Who's the Foundation for the Future? My name's Tim Chrisman. I am a retired Army officer, a former CIA Space Department officer, and the author of a book, Humanity in Space. I founded the Foundation for the Future this summer as a way to be the someone that we've been waiting for since Apollo, to make space boring. I have a 6- and 8-year-old, both of whom are enamored by the idea of going to space. Both of them hate the idea that going to space requires getting shots. In their heads, it should be just as easy as flying on an airplane or riding in a car. Why do they have to go through months of training and get shots, worst of all? And so I realized that I, like millions of Americans, have looked to space and thought it would be cool to go there one day as soon as someone figures out how to get me there. I'm sure there's someone at NASA that'll help me do that. Over the last few years, the thought has been, well, Elon will take me, Bezos will take me, Branson will let me ride on the wing. But it's never been, I could do something. It's never been normal people doing anything to make space real. I knew in my head that there were people starting companies, people trying to build the sort of basic infrastructure in space that we take for granted here on Earth. The plug-and-play systems that are in every cul-de-sac, in every subdivision. But it wasn't real to me. And I realized until that is real to the rest of America, we're always going to assume someone else will handle it, and that it'll be a rocket scientist or some other hero type entity that, while they're not playing a major league sport, are busy solving world hunger. It's never a solvable, tangible issue. And so at the Foundation for the Future, our mission is to make space boring. We are trying to build a community of people who are already doing just that. And we're taking their work and turning it into action by building a public-private partnership in the form of a Space Infrastructure Development Corporation. We've submitted a proposal to Congress called the Space Act of 2021. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but the short version is we're looking to build the sort of federally chartered corporation that was done in the Depression with the Tennessee Valley Authority, ComSat in the 50s, and the Millennium Challenge Corporation of the 90s and 2000s. This entity would bridge the gap with financing between private equity and NASA and Space Force, give a continuity to the money that gets allocated every fiscal year from the government, and ultimately take the sort of long shot investments in basic infrastructure, basic survivability, sustainment, and access systems that DARPA has been making in the military survivability and adaptation realm for over 50 years. So that's a little about us, what we're doing, where we want to go. I briefly mentioned this Blue Marble Week, but a little more about it. This first event is a shameless attempt to crowdsource ideas, plans, and numbers. So as I mentioned, we're going to Congress and knocking on doors, delivering proposals and saying, Congressperson, Senator, you spend money to build roads, to build bridges, to build ports. Why is space treated differently than every other domain in your district? We know the answer is because there's nobody there, and so nobody votes for it. But we're trying to make a constituency in their districts from their voters that will care, whether it is proposals about advanced material foundries or ideas from you all about projects you're working on in their districts, proposals you've submitted that could grow American jobs. We're looking to be able to deliver hard numbers, hard facts, and real ideas. Michael talked to a lot of you in his intro to this event about it being time-bound, about wanting to stick as close as possible in the realm of reality. And not reality as in crazy, wild, big ideas are off limits, but in the idea that if you're given federal investment or a public-private partnership comes to you and funds your technology, your company, your proposal, what do you deliver over the next 4 years? How many Americans are back to work or newly at work or trained in new industries? Space has always been a other, a hard, a crazy, wild place. As we've started up, we've realized that there are a lot of flat earthers who just wait on the internet for new space entities to show up. And they have everything ready to ensure that their narrative is the most real. Until we can deliver just as readily the sort of pithy, goofy comments back to them, back to their friends, back to our families that no, space is not hard. There's just not people there. Surviving in the desert is hard until you're there with the right equipment, the right training, and a little bit of infrastructure. And so here at Blue Marble Week, we're looking to you because we know we don't have all the ideas we need. We don't know all the people we need to know. And so over the course of these 3 days with your presentations, we hope to shamelessly pirate ideas, cite you aggressively in our outreach, and ultimately build a community of doers who are ready to see the dreams of Apollo realized, who look at the Blue Marble photo and don't see just a nice image, but instead see the idea that a tightly integrated crew can take an unscheduled photo on the way to the moon in what ultimately was the last trip man's made there. They did that because it was a opportunity and they took it. They did it because they saw what they wanted us to see, which is one world united. And evidently, they also wanted to provide Houston a data point that the Earth is round, because that is exactly what they reported immediately after taking the photo. And so as we go into Blue Marble Week, I hope you all have fun, learn from others in the community, and ultimately help us as we take your message to Congress, to policymakers, and show them that space is not a match for American entrepreneurs, especially not ones who are crazy enough to have done it before anybody else got involved.